The NBA Finals are kicking off this weekend. It's my favorite time of year, and right now I'm joined with Dave Golikoff to talk about which teams are going to have the easiest path to the NBA Final and which teams are going to face a lot more challenges in their rounds, in their finals games. So Dave, let's talk first about who has the easiest paths. Now, we've got the Warriors and Atlanta at the top of the standings. What do you think about these two teams and their paths in the finals?
Yeah, I think they're going to be rewarded for working hard in the regular season, both 60-win teams. And I think as a result, they're going to have the easiest time to get to the finals and maybe even beyond. But basically, I think you take a look at the number one seeds, and I think they have the easiest path. I think for the Hawks, it's pretty simple. Because they're one and because the Bulls and Cavs ended up 2 and 3, that means that they won't have to face both of them. Had the Bulls been number 4, they would have had to face the Hawks in round 2. But as a result, everybody, I think it's pretty much unanimous. The Bulls, Cavs, Hawks are the 3 best teams in the conference. And it's, obviously the Cavs are rated as the best right now. But if you're the Hawks, you're happy that you don't have to face the Cavs essentially to the Eastern Conference Final. And they're going to have to duke it out with the Chicago Bulls first as well. So maybe that wears on them. Maybe it's a 7-game series. Who knows? Meanwhile, the Hawks, they should have a relatively easy time with Brooklyn. Then they're going to get the winner of the Raptors and Wizards. And that's not exactly the most, neither of those teams are particularly challenging. So Atlanta should get a breeze to the conference finals. As for the Warriors, the Warriors are going to face New Orleans in the first round, which is somewhat of a challenge, but it's not San Antonio. It's not the Clippers. It's not Memphis. It's not Portland. It's not Houston. The Pelicans needed, to the last day of the regular season to make the playoffs. So that shows that they're clearly the weakest of the 8 teams in the conference. At least they were in the regular season. And then if Golden State gets past that, they're probably facing Memphis, which is manageable, or Portland, a banged-up team. Both teams are banged up, to be honest with you. But more importantly for Golden State, they don't have to face the Spurs until the conference finals. I mean, assuming the Spurs get there. They also don't have to face the Rockets or the 2 seed or the Clippers until the conference finals. None of those teams. That's a big boon for them because those teams will be fighting it out. Maybe Golden State gets done with New Orleans a little bit earlier and gets to rest. So I think those 2 teams, the Hawks, the Warriors, the 1 seeds, have the easiest path to the finals.
All right, now Dave, what do you think about the Golden State Warriors, and the Atlanta Hawks actually seeing each other in the NBA Final? Do you think that could happen?
I don't think it's going to happen because I'm not 100% sold on this Warriors team in terms of what they have inside. I kind of agree with Charles Barkley where he says these jump shooting teams, typically don't go far in the playoffs. I think Golden State is a little bit different, but I think somebody like the Clippers, I don't know, maybe even Memphis gives them a hard time, but San Antonio I think can definitely beat them. So those would be a concern for me. And as for the Hawks, I think Cleveland knocks out the Hawks in the Eastern Conference.
All right, so it sounds like maybe we could see a Spurs-Cavs matchup then in the NBA Final.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Okay, now Dave, let's talk about who you think will face the most challenges here in the playoffs.
So in terms of the toughest road to the finals, in the Eastern Conference, I've got the Bulls. They start off with the Milwaukee Bucks. They should get past that series, but you can tell that it might be a bit of a challenge for them. The Bucks are kind of scrappy, pesky, defensive. The series could be a grind for them. And if they do survive that and get beyond that, they earn the reward of facing the Cleveland Cavaliers in the second round. So the Bulls got to go from Milwaukee to Cleveland. Cleveland is the NBA, the NBA title's favorite right now. So that's a concern. If they somehow survive that, then they face the top seed, the 60-win Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference Final. And then if they somehow survive that, then all that's left for them between them and a championship is whichever superstar team from the Western Conference survives. survives their run there. So Chicago's got a near impossible chance of winning, but who knows? And then you got the Clippers on the other side. For me, the Clippers, congratulations on earning the 3rd seed. They charged up the standings down the stretch of the season with 14 wins in 15 games. They ended up with home court advantage. They thought they'd be in much better shape than this, but now they've got to go up against the San Antonio Spurs in round 1. Then if they win that, they're probably going up against the 2 seed in Houston, where they're not going to have home court advantage. If they survive that, then they've only got to go through probably Golden State in the conference final, maybe Memphis, hopefully for them Memphis, because then they'll have home court advantage. And if they get past that, then probably somebody like Cleveland in the final. So I think Clippers, Bulls, good luck to them. If they can win the championship going through the schedules that they have to go through, they definitely deserve it.
All right, everybody, expert handicapper Dave Golikoff with your preview on some of the easiest and most challenging roads for these teams here heading into the playoffs tomorrow. And hey, if you've got any comments or questions about the playoffs going down this weekend, hit us up on Twitter at SBR Sports Picks. You can find us on Facebook at Sportsbook Review, or just comment below this video. Let us know what you think. Give us some picks, even if you want to challenge us. We want to feature you on our next show. And of course, for the best NBA playoff selections all playoffs long, keep it locked right here with us at Sportsbook Review.